Hello everybody and welcome back to Cuss Communication. Today I will be talking about the book, They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. See, this book focuses on George's life in the Japanese internment camps after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. He was very young, as well as his siblings, and it was kind of different to see how a child would look at this versus his parents, because you don't get to see a point of view of his parents. There's a lot of theme in this, and one of the main themes is never give up. I know that's like a main theme in every single book that you read nowadays, but that's the main theme in this book, and I think it's a very good theme because all the things that he went through, from changing multiple camps to his parents almost giving up, his parents being no-nos, which he explains in the book, that they weren't giving their allegiance to America because they were already American citizens. So he's been through so much during this book, and you get to see how he changes from this naive 7-year-old child to becoming one of the main actors in Star Trek. And it's a very interesting transition because you would think that all that time in the internment camps, I think it was about maybe 3 or 4 years. I have to re-look that up, but after all that time in the internment camp, you would think that that would haunt him for the rest of his life, that would just continue to eat him up inside, but it didn't. He actually, the only time that it really kind of got a hold of him was whenever he was talking to his father about it, and his father was explaining why he did certain things, and he was just so confused. He was maybe about my age, about 18 years old, and it was a very emotional time for him, because he was trying to understand why his parents did certain things in order to keep him, his brother, and his sister safe. His little sister was just barely a newborn. So, with that in mind, he had to continue to grasp and to learn from that experience. He also really, how do I put this? He liked to add humor to this memoir that he wrote about his life in the internment camps. Whenever his mother brought in the sewing machine from home, and the kids thought it was going to be a snack or something, because she brought snacks too. That was very funny. I really enjoyed that. It just kind of, it emphasized the fact that no matter what they were going through, they could still laugh. They could still have a good time. And it was very enriching to my spirit that they were able to laugh through everything they were going through. And it was a very, very good thing that he added humor in there, because that book would have been totally and completely dark, depressing if he hadn't done that. Because that's something that America and Americans still don't want to acknowledge today, is the fact that they locked away an entire culture of people that were American. by all means, that were flesh and blood American. But the most interesting part about the entire book was when his father wouldn't want to shake, what's her name? Elizabeth Roosevelt? I think her name's Elizabeth. FDR's wife. He left the workplace that him and his son worked at, him and George worked at, because he heard that the wife of FDR was coming to talk to them and to sort of, like, I guess, encourage them in a way. I didn't understand that part, what she was there for. But she was coming, and the dad left because, well, the son didn't get it at first, but because he was actually excited to see her. He was like, oh my goodness, like, she gets to recognize me, like, this is crazy, oh my goodness. But the dad did not want to shake her hand, because it even said in the book, as George Takei was now reflecting on it, he said, I understand now why my father left so early, is because he didn't want to shake the hand of the woman whose husband imprisoned his family and put them in danger. And that was really powerful. That was extremely powerful, because if that were me and my family, and that happened during my time, whenever I had kids, especially a newborn, I wouldn't want to be there with her either. I wouldn't want to shake her hand. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with her, because she put my family in danger. Or her husband did, technically. But it's really powerful, and it's a very good book to read. I would recommend it if you're someone who likes comic books, and this is sort of in the style of a comic book. And it's really entertaining, too. You get to see the facial expressions. It's kind of like a manga. You get to see facial expressions, and you get to understand and enjoy what you're reading, because it's put into simplest terms by pictures. Although it doesn't have any color, you can still kind of imagine and depict where everything is and what color everything is using your imagination, because it's so easily described, and very good use of imagery, and not just in the pictures, in the word bubbles, the actual book. So there's that. And that concludes our time today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.